Hello guys! Now, ang ituturo ko naman sa inyo is how to factor sum and difference of cubes. But first thing, let us define the word cubes. So, what is a perfect cube? A perfect cube is a number that you multiply 3 times by itself. So, si perfect cube daw ay kapag minultiply natin ang number by itself in 3 times, that is called a perfect cube. For example, 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So, 8 is a perfect cube. Another example, x squared times x squared times x squared is equal to x raised to 6. And x raised to 6 is a perfect cube. So the question is, how will I determine if the variable is a perfect cube? The answer is if the exponent of the variable is divisible by 3. Para masabi natin na ang variable natin ay perfect cube kapag ang exponent niya ay divisible by 3. For example, x raised to 9. What else? X raised to 12. So, how do I get the cube root of x raised to 9. So, getting the cube root of the variable na may perfect cube na variable, you just divide the exponent into 3 to get the cube root of the x raised to 9. Okay, so 9 divided by 3 is 3. So therefore, the cube root of x raised to 9 is x raised to 3. How about x raised to 12? So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So the cube root of x raised to 12 is equal to x raised to 4. So now, what is a sum and difference of cubes? So first thing, the sum and difference of cube in the form of a cube plus b cube is equal to a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So, paano naman natin i-determine if that polynomial is a sum and difference of cube? So, first, if the given is, it must have 2 terms. So, para masabi natin that the polynomial is an example of sum and difference of cube, dapat siya ay merong 2 terms. Okay? The second condition is the first and last term is a perfect cube. Okay, para masabi natin na siya ay example ng sum and difference, it must have 2 terms and the first and the last term is a perfect cube. Okay? So, in factoring sum and difference of cube, you always remember, when it comes to sign, each term is a perfect cube. So, the sum or difference of 2 cubes will factor into a binomial and a trinomial. So, when we factor sum and difference, meron tayong binomial and trinomial. So, when it comes to sign, pag tayo ay nagpa-factor, So, dapat itong dalawa ay same. Kung ano ang operation ng ating given, dapat yung binomial natin, yun din ang operation niya. Okay? So, pagdating naman tayo kay trinomial, pag tayo ay nagpa-factor, dapat the operation of our given, yung middle term natin kay trinomial, siya ay always opposite. Kung negative ito, dapat ang second term natin kay trinomial ay positive. Kung positive ito, dapat ang second term natin kay trinomial ay negative. Okay? So, the last term in a trinomial is always positive. Okay? So, when we are factoring sum and difference of cube, when it comes to sign, so, meron tayong binomial and trinomial. When it comes to sign, the binomial ay kukunin nating operation yung nasa given natin. When it comes to trinomial, the middle term is always opposite of our operation na given natin. And the last term is always positive. Okay? So, I will show you an example of a sum and difference of cube. Okay. First is, you need to determine if the polynomial is a sum and difference of cube. 27x cubed minus 25. Okay, so determine muna natin. The first term must be, it must have two terms. Check. Meron tayong two terms. The first and the last is a perfect cube. 27 is a perfect cube and its variable is also a perfect cube. 125 is also a perfect cube. So, how do we factor? So, first, gawa tayo ng, when we factor sum and difference of cube, the result is a binomial and a trinomial. So when it comes to sign, in a binomial, copy the operation of our given, which is negative. When it comes to trinomial, the middle term is opposite of our operation. So that is positive. Since negative siya, so siya ay positive. And the last term is always positive. Okay, so how do we factor? First step is get the cube root of our first term. So what is the cube root of our first term? 3. The cube root of 27 is 3. How about its variable? X. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So, how about 125? The cube root of 125 is 5. Okay, so when it comes to trinomial, you just, so tapos na tayo kay binomial. When it comes to trinomial, you just multiply or you just square the first. For the first term, square the first. So 3x, when you squared it, that is 9x squared. And then, sa last term, you just squared. 5 raised to 2 is 25. Okay, when it comes to middle term, you just multiply the first and the last term dito sa ating binomial natin. 3x times 5, that is 15x. So, the factor of 27x cubed minus 25 is the quantity of 3x minus 5 times the quantity of 9x squared plus 15x plus 25. Another example, 8x cubed minus 27. Okay, again, determine if the given is an example of sum and difference of cube bago natin siya i-factor. So, first term natin, we have two terms. Check. The first and the last term must be a perfect cube. 8 is a perfect cube, x cubed is a perfect cube, and 27 is also a perfect cube. So again, when we are factoring sum and difference of cube, it results a binomial and a trinomial. Okay? So when it comes to sign, in a binomial, we just copy the operation of our given, which is negative. Kung negative dito sa trinomial naman, kung negative dito ay positive. Kasi always opposite dapat sila. And the last term ng ating trinomial is always positive. Okay? So, factor na natin siya. First is get the cube root of the first term. 2. Get the cube root of its variable, x. Get the cube root of 27, 3. So, when it comes to trinomial, dito tayo magbe-base, hindi na kay given. Dito na tayo magbe-base kay binomial. So, first term, squared the first. Square natin yung first term natin, which is 4x squared. Our last term, squared the last, that is 3 raised to 2 is 9. Then when it comes to middle term, you multiply the first and the last term. 2x times 3, that is 6x. So therefore, the factor of 8x cubed minus 27 is equal to the quantity of 2x minus 3 times the quantity of 4x squared plus 6x plus 9. So, ganun lang kadali. I hope na nakatulong sa inyo. So, that's all. Thank you.